Well, we got a few things going on with the Resilient Jenkins. I noticed on, I got this over on the FB from Miss Stephanie Thompson. The first one she shows, she has this video. It has no sound, no music, no nothing. And she's just showing these breakfast plates. Regular breakfast plates, like you would always see her make. Not, not a whole lot of food on them. But actually they weren't that bad this time. They did have a little more food than usual, because if you'll notice, a lot of times her kids' plates have very little food on them. I mean, I consider it to be very little food, but some people say that, I guess it's just a matter of opinion, because some people seem to think it's enough food. I don't think she gives them kids enough food. I mean, her oldest daughter, beautiful girl, but she is so painfully thin. I really think, I'm not speaking ill of the daughter, because these are innocent children. I just think that she's not getting enough food, and that's why she's so thin like that. But anyways, Stephanie says, above this video, she captions it, our 10-year-old, and stop right there. I think she means Drew's 10-year-old. She has this obsession with wanting to be Deshawn's mother. But I've said it before, she's not even Deshawn's stepmother. He is her boyfriend's son. Because Miss Thompson, she can't even marry Drew, even if he wanted to marry her. I'm sure he wouldn't, but even if he wanted to, she couldn't marry him, because she is married to Mr. Jeremiah Thompson, who is doing life in prison for some heinous crimes against a child. And the funny thing about it is, I mean, we haven't visited this in a while, is Stephanie's mother had paid a lawyer so Stephanie could get divorced from this man. But Stephanie never did it. That is crazy to me. Why would you want to remain married to a registered SO of children, no less? I mean, nothing's good, but it'd at least be a little better if it was grown people he was assaulting, but it was children. Why does she stay married to this man? He's in prison. It's not, I mean, he's not going to contest the divorce. There's no property to fight over or anything. So it can't possibly, I've always heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've always heard it's extremely cheap to divorce someone while they're in prison. She can even do it on her own. You can go online and she might have to pay some filing fees. But ridiculous. I don't know. So she says, yes, our 10-year-old, which should say Drew's 10-year-old. But our 10-year-old was the only one that ate everything on the plate. I be making, here we go with more of her wonderful grammar skills. She has such a grasp of the English language, doesn't she? I be making packed plates for looks, I guess. I'd like to know when she makes these packed plates. Because in the 2 years that I've been following this mess of a situation, ever since she went viral, that's when I started following her, when she went viral for turning the dining room into basically a bedroom for the kids. That was the video that put her on the map. And I have never seen her give her children packed plates. And there's rumors that she doesn't even allow these children to have seconds. Deshawn supposedly, allegedly, had told his mother Desiree that they weren't allowed seconds. He didn't even know when he was with his mother Desiree that he could ask for seconds, because Stephanie didn't allow that. Now that's alleged rumors, but I tend to believe this. She doesn't feed those kids enough. But I be making packed plates when. Then we have this other video, and it's titled Super Simple Slow Cooker Meatloaf. And she says she wants to call it everything but the kitchen sink meatloaf. And she was just pouring all kinds of junk into this, and it looked like dog food when it was done. It was disgusting. I've never seen a meatloaf look anything like that. Now I understand it was made in a slow cooker, but this was disgusting. And she says, they have some mashed potatoes and broccoli. They're their go-to sides. But she says this, quote, until I can cook like I want to, I'm going to research every recipe out there. I love cooking and I hate that I can't share it the way I want to, but the time will come, unquote. Basically, she's saying, will you buy me a new Ninja oven since we can't take care of anything that we own, that we destroy all of our property. We have no respect for our property or the property of anybody else. Can you buy me one so I can cook like I would like to cook? And she says, the time will come. The time would come a lot faster if she would go get a job with a verifiable, guaranteed income so she could show that to landlords and have a much better chance of getting an apartment somewhere for these children to live. Then we have Drew Jenkins, Mr. Drew Jenkins, another real winner. He posted a new video on the TikTok, and let me tell you, it was boring. It was boring. He says, let them know what you think about this style of content. And everybody in the comments was on the same page. Boring. But he says that he was sick for a few days, including his birthday, and he won't do deliveries when he's sick because that's just not right. Do you know how many times I and millions of other people have went to work while sick? I understand because he's with food. Maybe that's where he's thinking of it, because this is him delivering food. But this food, he's not preparing this food. He's not directly breathing on this food. He goes and he picks the food up after it's already prepared. He puts it in his car and he delivers it to the address. In my opinion, he could have done that while sick. He just didn't want to. And you got Stephanie going days at a time, not putting out any content, and that's her job. So you might as well say she's not showing up for work days at a time. Now we got Drew starting to, looks like maybe slack off like that. And I don't know how it works when you do this, as he says, quote unquote, gig work. I don't know how it works. But I don't know if each place gives you these like insulated bags, or you purchase those, or I don't know how that works. But these insulated bags he was delivering the food in were filthy. I mean filthy. In one clip you see his hands even looked filthy. I mean they were dry and looked filthy. Now, I'm sure you can clean these insulated bags. I mean, at least take a soapy rag to them. Something. I wouldn't want to eat anything that came out of them. They were that filthy. And that was another big one in the comments. Everyone wants to know, same as me, they're like, they don't know how this works, but why are those bags so filthy? You should be ashamed to be putting food into those bags and taking those bags where people can see them. It was disgusting. But he says he made $75 during the dinner rush, so that wasn't too bad. I've seen people in the comments saying that's not good. I don't know anything about DoorDash, Grubhub, none of that stuff. Uber Eats, no, I know nothing about it. I've never ordered from it. I probably never will. But it was just, they said though that the $75, they said that's not good money during a dinner rush. So I don't know. If you know anything about this, let me know. Do you have to buy these insulated bags? Do they belong to the customers or the businesses, or how does that work? And also let me know, is $75 good during a dinner rush? Because Drew was happy with it. I'm sure it's long gone by now. So let me know and educate me on this if you know anything about it.